Hey everyone, I'm Shauna Patterson and today I'm going to be talking to you all about my route to interior design school. I know now is the time when some of you are thinking about applying to do university colleges. Some of you might have already had to apply, maybe like early acceptance. People are sending out their portfolios, school kind of interviews and stuff like that. So if any of you guys are interested in maybe a design school or interior design schools in particular, then keep watching this video. I'll give you a little inside scoop on my route to interior design school and kind of a inside look of what I do now. So getting started in the video, I am currently third year interior design student. So to just start off the bat, interior design is not interior decorating. That is like the one big mistake people make all the time. People think we're just throwing out like pillow cushions and blankets and picking wall colors. That is maybe about like 5 to 10% of what we actually do. Interior design is essentially like architecture. In some countries it's called interior architecture in the sense you learn about structural issues, you learn about walls meaning like you do floor plans, you do layout, you learn about more the psychology of making livable spaces and spaces that are conducive to their function. So functionality, ergonomics, we have to learn about building code, you learn about lighting, bidding in the actual workplace, having to do contracts. So it's a lot more goes into it than just simply designing a room. So you can take interior decorating. Typically it's a diploma course. So you go to like a college for it. It's like a 3-year program, 2 or 3 years. You can get a diploma in interior decorating, whereas interior design typically is now the standard is a 4-year bachelor degree program. So I'm on the road to graduating with a Bachelor of Interior Design. So let's just get a little pillow here and get all nice and cozy and ready to talk. So I'm going to take it back a little bit, walk you through my high school career. Going into high school, grade 9, grade 10, even partially kind of grade 11. Grade 11 was kind of where I made the switch. I thought I was going to get into architecture. I thought I was going to be an architecture student. I was signing up for like all the university level math, physics, sciences, that kind of thing. I was kind of aiming for that stream and head in that direction in order to get accepted into architecture schools. The fit wasn't for me. Math is not my strong suit. I know that personally, not something that I am really good at. I started researching more into the architecture subject and realized that I just wasn't happy with spending my life so corely involved with math and physics, which is a large part of what architecture is, at least the basis of it, and then you get more fine-tuned into what you want to do with it. I wanted to go more to the design approach of it. That's what I was interested in. All through high school, I studied fashion. So I did fashion design, fashion fundamentals, sewing. So I had a large background in the actual design portion, which was in turn very beneficial to my whole design background in a sense, because you learned about like color theory and like all the textures and stuff, because like fashion and interior design, they go hand in hand. They help each other out. Fashion trends follow design trends in the markets and stuff like that, but that's a whole different other story. I took AutoCAD, which was offered at my school all the way through high school, so I took it in grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. In retrospect, extremely beneficial for interior design. So I definitely recommend if you're wanting to get into interior design. Interior design, my program uses AutoCAD, some Revit. I haven't used Revit yet. Programs like Illustrator, Adobe, the Adobe Suite, Photoshop, Adobe InDesign, Google SketchUp. The first year in interior design, you have to hand draft, but as the years increase, you have to do computer drafting. That was basically my high school career, and by grade 11, grade 12, I realized that I wanted to make the switch and focus more on interior design because I just realized that math and sciences weren't my strong suit, and that's just not what I wanted to do with my life, you know what I mean? It came down to when I was applying for schools whether I was going to go into fashion design or interior design. I applied to both. I actually got into both, but at the end of the day I picked interior design. I have written in those school memory books from back when I was like in kindergarten all the way up through like grade 8 and like all my elementary school years. You kind of keep track of like who your best friend was, like what was your height, what was your weight, like your little school picture. Anyways, I had one of those books, and in there it wrote what do you want to be when you grew up, and so every year you'd write like what you want to be. And so since okay, I'm facing you into like a courtyard where I'm living, and there's like all these people standing in the window, and some guy was just standing there without a shirt on, so woo! What was I talking about? So yeah, I saw like what you wanted to be when you grew up. So ever since grade 6, it said I want to be an interior designer when I grow up. So I guess it was written in the stars from the very beginning. I was like, wow, like, well, like grade 6 me clearly knew what kind of life track they were on. So I made the switch in applying for that kind of stuff, and I was like heavily into fashion design in high school, and I created like a whole line of clothing. Like I love that so much, so much. Basically what I'm trying to get at is I had to make a decision of whether I wanted to pursue fashion design as my career or interior design as my career, and inevitably I chose interior design as my career. I wanted to keep the difference between what I love to do, in a sense one will be my hobby and one will be my career. So fashion, like fashion design, styling, all that kind of stuff, that's what I love to do, as well as interior design. So I chose to keep fashion as my hobby and interior design as my career, which is, interior design is also my hobby as well, like I love to do it as well, but you know, I kind of had to pick a difference, and there was multiple reasons as to why I chose those two different paths. In the end, they both worked out, and they are very interchangeable. Everything that I do in fashion is like heavily affects me in the way I design spaces as well. So I had to make the decision. So moving on to application process. So in the applications, in order to get into interior design school, I think the grading was like I had to get 65% or higher, I'm pretty sure. In English, top 6 grade 12 course credits or something like that. I know I had to get my grade 11 mixed math. That was one of the eligible requirements for the math. I remember I went back and I did that again to kind of boost up my mark. You needed your Englishes, and again AutoCAD was very important, and you needed your arts. So I took arts all the way up through high school. I remember in grade 12 I actually took grade 11 and grade 12 art in consecutive semesters to get both those credits in there. That's essentially all you needed for the academic portion, as well as just having good grades, because it is a competitive program, so you need to be able to compare yourself to the other people. A large portion of the design process, especially in any kind of design school, is going to be your portfolios. I remember applying to a couple schools. I know one school was actually a tactile portfolio, so you had to go in for an interview and show them pieces of artwork. You had to do a written test like on the spot. That was for one interior design program, and then for another one was an electronic submission. So they give you kind of like a portfolio requirement list. So I remember I had to go out and like draw. I remember making this one piece. It was like a shoe, like a watch. It was a still life drawing, and you had to make it a classic still life drawing and then take that still life drawing and make it something contemporary. I won't show you guys my art pieces, but I do remember that you kind of just had to show your artistic abilities and that you could draw. For your portfolio, you just have to collect all your art pieces. If you're taking art through high school, save all those pieces or else photograph them, make a digital portfolio. What I did for my portfolio is literally you just take like a Word document, you drag in all your pieces, you name them, so you put like your name, the sizing, like oil on canvas, that kind of stuff. So you just like label each thing, and that's essentially all you have to do for submission. They just want it like clean and simple and just showing your artistic ability so that they know that you do have some sort of design background. A lot of my friends, when they're applying to university, they're just simply like apply. With me, I'd have to apply and then do all these portfolios on top of it. I remember like saying to one of my friends, like I had to do like 25 drawings like cumulatively for all these different universities and colleges for all their portfolios, which was crazy. I did it, and now I'm in third year university. So now that I'm in interior design school, I'll give you just kind of, to wrap the whole video up, a little snippet of some of the courses that I have been taking in the previous semesters. And this is solely for my program. I can't speak for other programs in the industry, but I know that for all of my semesters I take a studio class, and that's your core class, and basically all the other classes kind of stem off of that. I know for the first couple semesters you had your hand drawing classes. You'd make hand drawing renderings, like room renderings, to go along with your big studio projects. In this program, it is very heavily drawing based, in the sense that you have to make like room sketches, practice your perspective drawing, practice 2-point perspective, because that is basically all the drawing that you do. It's all in 2-point perspective. You're going to be having to do some hand drawing, some parallel projections, floor plan drafting and stuff like that, but it is really difficult if you don't know how to do it at first, but you do learn. It is very nitpicky at some points, but it's something you just have to learn and get through. Your AutoCAD classes that would kind of help you out designing your studio projects. So they kind of all stem off of the studio, and the studio is where you have your big major projects. So you're designing like a retail space, a corporate office, a residential lot, another house, a hospital room. Oh, I did a restaurant. I just did this. But yeah, we get a broad range of what we can do, and it's not just solely designing like a bedroom, you know what I mean? So you're branching off into more corporate things, getting into the business world. You'll find your strong suit and you'll find what you like and what you don't like. You also learn about the Ontario Building Code. We learn about mechanical systems, so you learn about like HVAC systems, you learn about construction details. So I actually had to go into a wood shop and create like joists and like tenons and joists, and had kind of learning how things go together. So you learn about construction details, that when you get to a job site you actually know what you're talking about and you can use the terminology that you need to be respected in that industry. So if you guys have any questions at all, if you guys are looking to apply into like design school, interior design school, that kind of stuff, leave all your questions in the comments below. If you want like an immediate response, you guys can always reply me on Twitter. I'm usually on that all the time, so it's at Shauna Patterson. Yeah, just talk to me and hopefully I'm gonna be able to help you out. I tried to give you a little bit of information for those who are curious in kind of the application process and what it's like applying for design school and what kind of you want to look into, and if you're interested even in doing design, if you're trying to make a decision on what you want to do for university, because I know it's a really big decision for a lot of people. But overall, I really enjoy this program. I definitely recommend pursuing an interior design career if you're interested in it. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope it helps at least some of you out a little bit if you're curious as to what I do in school. Maybe you're interested in applying for this career as well. Good luck if you're currently applying for colleges, universities, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!